Hey everybody, Dr. Strong here, and I've got a very interesting topic for you today. We're going to be talking about toxic metals and weight loss. So if you're somebody who has been struggling with weight loss, just can't lose the weight, or you lose it a little bit and then it just comes right back, this is something that you really want to consider and talk to your healthcare provider about, because it could be holding you back and causing a lot of frustration when it comes to your weight loss journey. If you haven't tried keto, or if you want to explore keto, or maybe you've tried it and it didn't work, I want to bet that you were probably doing the wrong form of keto. In the description, there is a guide for a 28-day challenge. It has grocery list, meal plan, everything that you need in order to do keto correctly. So you can go down there, check that out. All you have to do is put your email in and we'll send it over to you. So you can try that out and give me some feedback and let me know how that goes. So I want to try to give you as many resources as I can to be successful, because my mission is to help as many people as possible overcome their chronic health conditions and learn what is really going on with their body. And by liking and sharing and subscribing to my video, you help me accomplish that mission. So thank you so very much. Let's get into the topic for today. Weight loss is always a tricky subject because there are so many factors that play into this. There are almost too many paths to take or too many gurus to listen to on this subject, so why should you listen to me? I'm going to share some different insight into what could be going on with your body and something that may be hidden that maybe your doctor doesn't know about. And it's not their fault, but maybe they just haven't explored as much of natural alternative methods or other root causes. A lot of the times you can get 80% of people better, but there's still that 20% that still don't get better through routine dietary plans, keto, whatever it may be. This is always a good option to look into when you feel like you're hitting a brick wall. When I was younger, I had my own issues with weight gain. At the age of 12, I weighed almost more than I do now, at 195 pounds in the age of 32. And that was pretty hard, not only physically, but psychologically as well. And to think about how far I've come throughout that journey, I just really want to help people overcome their issues as well, because I know how hard it can be. And if you have the wrong information, it is very hard to get results. Besides the physical issues that occurred, being out of breath, not being able to participate in sports, not being able to do the things that I enjoyed, the mental issues were even worse. From bullying to social anxiety, it was more than I could handle. I decided to take matters into my own hands and lost 40 pounds over about a 2-month period. It probably wasn't the healthiest way to do it looking back, but I was able to use my willpower and achieve that goal. As a doctor and healthcare provider now, I can see what I did wrong and how I could have done it differently. And I've been able to help people lose an average of 15 to 20 pounds over just a short course of time, anywhere from 2 to 3 months, and keep it off consistently. And that's what I want to share with you today. If you can't lose weight no matter what, could the weight loss culprit be something as inconspicuous as mercury buildup in your body? It is widely accepted that metal toxicity can impair neuroendocrine function. Simply put, this means that normal thyroid function can be impaired from toxic metals such as mercury, cadmium, lead, and others. Now, what are toxic metals? We're going to talk about that next. If you're taking a thyroid medication, which I see tons of women that are, you may want to look into this even further. Toxic metals are metals that are not required or are of use to your body's chemistry. Mercury is the example we are all probably most familiar with. Toxic metals can also be variations of metals for which there is a biological use, but in the wrong form are toxic. What is the weight loss connection, you may be wondering? For the purpose of weight loss or an inability to lose weight no matter what, the effect of toxic metals on thyroid function and estrogen production becomes of particular interest. Impaired thyroid function, specifically the impairment of T4 to T3 conversion, will act like an invisible force field around your body fat. Now, this happens in the liver, and if you have liver toxicity and the body can't detoxify, this is also a big issue, and that can come from consuming too many sugars, constant exposure to pollution, mold in your house, and then obviously heavy metal toxicity. No amount of diet or exercise will be of use for someone with sufficiently impaired thyroid. There's good scientific evidence that metal toxicity can impair endocrine or thyroid function. When we look at the scientific evidence for toxic metals and impaired thyroid function, there are numerous studies indicating lead, cadmium, and mercury with impaired thyroid function. What we can say for sure is this: toxic metals in your body are undesirable. Toxic metals may impair thyroid function in certain individuals. If you cannot lose weight and have high levels of heavy metals, you may consider a protocol to remove toxic metals. I'm going to show you a lab that indicates a patient that had heavy metal toxicity and how high the heavy metals actually were in her body. The best test to objectively measure your levels of heavy metals, I recommend having your physician order the 3 or 6 hour urinary heavy metal toxic test using a challenging agent such as DMSA or DMPS. I would find somebody who is specialized in this, and mostly you can do this remotely. Just find somebody who you trust and who you like to help you walk through this. I also recommend the Quicksilver Scientific Trimercury toxic metal testing. It is one that has shown the highest sensitivity and great results in addressing this particular issue. The following test that I'm going to show you was ordered on a patient who had an impossible time losing weight. She simply was unable to convert T4 to T3 due to the amount of heavy metal toxicity in her body. As you can see here, her mercury levels were extremely high and off the charts. This was inhibiting the conversion in her liver of T4 to T3. You can also see that she has high amounts of lead, thallium, and antimony. With that being said, these heavy metals will burden the liver and keep it from processing fat, which you need it to do in order to lose weight appropriately. Once the patient was treated and the mercury and lead was reduced and removed, her weight problem was solved. Her T4 to T3 conversion issue was solved, and she could actually process the fat in her liver now. You may be asking, how can you rid yourself of toxic metals? Like I mentioned earlier, find a doctor who is thoroughly trained in the evaluation and treatment of heavy metal detoxification, because it can be very tricky and there can be some really big side effects, so I do not recommend doing it on your own. I would definitely find a trained physician to do so. We use Cellcore as my primary detoxing protocol for my patients since it is less toxic than DMSA or DMPS, but those are the two challenging agents that most people are trained in. When it comes to the liver, you want to be certain that your phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification pathways are functioning optimally. These are your liver pathways, and you need the liver to function optimally in order to lose fat in the first place. Even though you may not have heavy metal toxicity, you may have a liver toxicity issue. That can come from gut dysfunction, SIBO, dysbiosis, or just gut impermeability as well. You want to make sure that you're eliminating all heavy metal exposure as well. If you found this information helpful, then I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with any of your family or friends who have been struggling to lose weight, because this could just be the key factor to help them get through that psychological barrier and actually resolve their weight issue. There's free resources below. Like I said earlier in the video, if you want to try a ketogenic diet, the 28-day challenge is in the description. All you need is your email. You can sign up and that will get sent over to you. And then if you have any questions or comments, please just put them below. Try to answer all of the comments on here and try to give people the best advice to my knowledge and what I've seen clinically over the years. So thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.